What's up, music fam? I have a question for you. Do you have a cutoff point or age before you just throw in the towel and quit? At what point do you look yourself in the mirror and decide, okay, it's time to let it go? Well, I've been producing since 2002, so I definitely have my opinion on the topic. I'm back making another R&B beat for you, as it answers the question, when should you quit as a producer? If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. First, I want to get this out of the way. One of the good things about being a music producer is that there is literally no age requirement. As long as you have the talent, you can be as young as 7 or as old as 700 years old, provided you live that long. As a matter of fact, I think the older you get as a producer, the more experience you have to bring to the table. And not just music experience, but life experience. But just because there's no age requirement for being a music producer, that doesn't mean that there's no sense of urgency required for you to learn and grow. Just like in everything you do, you have to put in the work to be successful as a producer. But as long as you do that, you're never too old to be a music producer. But now that I've said you shouldn't quit just because you think you're too old, I have a few other reasons why you might feel like quitting as you get older. The next is societal norms when it comes to age. Being a music producer has become very glamorized. We can watch TV or get online and see producers in movies, interviews, commercials, reality shows, the list goes on. And because society sees these producers so often now, they might have a certain image in mind. So the societal norm might make you feel that you have to look or act like those producers. But what makes a producer is his or her uniqueness. If you actually sit down and talk to successful producers, you'll realize that they are all very different from each other, and that they have two things in common. One, they're extremely talented, and two, they have an almost insane work ethic. Now, I doubt that as an 80-year-old producer, you'll want to work with the youngest artist to come out. But that doesn't mean that there's no longer a place for you. As you mature as a producer, your music might mature as well. But music matures like fine wine. As long as the quality is still there will always be a place for your music. You might just have to find that place or that audience. For example, instead of working with the newest or youngest artists out there, you might get into scoring films or sync licensing. You have to find your place, and that means finding the balance between being true to yourself and being relevant. This leads me to the next reason you might feel like quitting as you get older. The third reason you might feel like quitting is because you or others might feel that your sound is dated or irrelevant. And the harsh truth is this: your music might really be dated or irrelevant for what you're trying to do. For example, if you're working on orchestral music, you're probably not going to want to pitch to young hip-hop artists. Again, I don't think any music is ever truly outdated. I just think every producer needs to find the right audience and the right artist if you're working on vocal music. However, if you have a specific type of music you love and you do want to work within that specific genre, you will need to move according to the rules of that genre. That means updating your sound according to what's current. But while doing so, be sure to maintain your sense of authenticity. Otherwise, you'll just change every time the wind blows, and you will have no true sound of your own as a producer. Also, one tip I want to give is to never get rid of your old sound, or literally your sounds, like VSTs or keyboards, just because current trends move away from those sounds. If the sounds are truly good sounds, I can guarantee that they'll be relevant and useful again one day. The fourth reason you might feel like you're getting too old to be a producer is your circle. The people around you might simply tell you or make you feel like you're getting too old. As a creative, and especially as a music producer, you have to have almost that Kanye kind of confidence. That kind of confidence that says, I know I'm good at what I do. I'm not saying you need to be arrogant, but you might almost feel arrogant sometimes, because you literally have to tell yourself you're good when you have no one else to tell you. Side note, you do actually have to put in the work to make sure you are good. You have to fight against envy, jealousy, and flat out hate if you're going to pursue this thing. All this negativity will be there, but that doesn't mean you need to allow it to be close to you. Your circle is made up of the people you choose to surround yourself with. One bad comment from a person close to you could set you back years. It's up to you to surround yourself with people who know your goals, believe you have the ability to get there, want to see you get there, and who actually speak life into you and your goals. If you have these types of positive people around you, who you know want the best for you, you'll know they're speaking from a place of love on the rare occasion when they have to tell you a harsh truth. And then there's the fifth and last reason why you might feel you should quit as you get older. Burnout. Sometimes you just get tired. When you're pursuing the thing you love, you don't always realize how hard you're working. Even when you're relaxing or on vacation, you'll still take your work with you because it's what you love. And then it happens. You feel like you've lost your drive, your passion. You start to feel unfulfilled, and it doesn't feel the way it used to. You start to feel burnout. This doesn't mean you should quit. It just means you might need to take some time to truly relax and then come back to it. How long you take is up to you. And then revisit your music and see how you feel. Most likely, you'll come back with a new perspective, a second wind, and a new love for it. I've seen so many producers get burned out and then sell all their equipment because they felt like they just didn't love it anymore. If you look online, you'll find countless producers selling not only a piece of gear, but selling their whole studio, all the way down to their laptop. I wonder how many of these producers would have done this if they had just stepped back, taken a break, and then come back to it. Because almost every producer I've talked to who felt burned out eventually regret quitting. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you actually took a break from music? And as producers, we can be guilty of grabbing the most convenient meals, not exercising like we should, and not resting like we should. If that's you, let's make a commitment to each other to do better. And let's never let burnout be our reason for quitting. Now, I've covered a lot of reasons why you might think you should quit producing as you get older. But as I say often, this is so much bigger than the music. Before you can decide whether or not you should quit, you have to know why you produce in the first place. You have to know what your purpose is. Because if you have no purpose, you're just another producer with some good beats. But here's the reason why you should keep producing as you get older. The older you get, the more you realize why you do what you do. The clearer your purpose becomes. When I was a young producer, I thought I was going to just get really good at producing, make a lot of money, and my family and I would be good. But as the years went by, I started to see things I couldn't ignore. I saw people hurting, and I saw people who needed help. Along the way, it became more and more evident what my purpose was and is. And I could only understand it if I lived through some things. I've always loved people, so as a producer, that love naturally translated over to having a love for helping artists. But that love caused me to get burned by artists, a lot. But there are only so many times I was going to pay for a photo shoot before I decided to buy a camera myself and learn how to use it. And then I learned video. And I learned more and more until before I knew it, I was able to offer pretty much everything an artist would need to promote, release, and market a project. The mistakes I made early on taught me things I needed to know and to grow as a producer. And I use that knowledge now on a daily basis. Now I'm truly able to help artists in a way I could have never done when I was a younger producer. But that's just a part of my story. If you don't quit, you'll have your own unique story. Now, I almost didn't make this video. I told my wife I didn't want to sound cliche. Thankfully, she told me that no matter how many times we hear "don't quit," there will always be someone else who needs to hear it again. So my hope, my prayer is that this video gets to those who need to hear these words. Don't quit. Because this is way bigger than just making beats. This is about fulfilling your purpose. And your purpose is never just about you. There are people who you don't even know who are counting on you and waiting on you. So whatever you do, don't quit. hope you enjoyed it. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. When do you think we should give up? Are we just some crazy dreamers? If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, you all be blessed.